What's going on, community? Hit y'all with the update. About to go hit a trail run out here in Texas. A little hot, man. So, man, this week we were popping, weren't we? Got some really cool stuff that moved through. We got to see go.hex.com got upgraded, got updated. It's working great on PulseChain. That's something that we'd really consider part of MVP. Kind of goes along with that narrative that we've talked about, that we are basically still launching, right? Like this continuation takes 60-90 days to really get all these things rolled out, similar to the infrastructure and architecture stuff that we talk about with a lot of the third-party stuff like ourselves. We got to see some really interesting up and down with PulseX. So there is a big U in the chart now from a little bit of hullabaloo, I would say, on some of the single-sided staking. There was some back and forth about its viability, the tokenomics, how big an impact it would have, and that's something we kind of lean back to, that the market tells you if you're right or wrong. And so, at least in the short term, it seems like people really liked single-sided staking. We saw at least a tweet saying that that it's going to be viable. That'll probably be back up on PulseX from RH. Again, still TBD. We'll see how that comes through. We are now back above the SAC price on Pulse, so everyone should be all excited to get their pom-poms out. Again, there's a few people. Crypto 7, some of those guys had a really good stream with him. I really enjoyed talking to him. A lot of those guys are calling for the bottom. This is about that time historically you start to see bottoms on new projects. So right or wrong, probably close, right? Again, we talked about this. I've been trying to kind of put some of these tweets and some of that alpha out, right, on the ideas about like trying to understand some of the psychology around buying bottoms, and also the mentality that you'll see that are kind of bottom signals, right? So again, we'll see if we're at max pain, if we have another leg down, but again, I think most people are still seeing this as a launching phase continuation, as a golden opportunity to accumulate. So we saw the big U with PulseX. We see go.hex.com updated. We're still seeing more and more adoption. There's a few new service providers that have come online for PulseChain. There's a little bit of a little leaked kind of hint where we got to see BitBoy talking about owning PulseChain. We kind of had some touches on that. I'm pretty sure he's come out and said that he's sacrificed previously, but again, that acknowledgement from some of those players is always a big one. Something just as we see these things progress, right? We have a little bit of infighting right now. I would tell everybody, calm down, take a breather, put your sharp teeth away. But that negative energy can be positive, right? Like you see some of that viral, visceral response. And again, but it's energy, right? Like it's still people hear the name, even if they're complaining in the short term, everybody turns bullish once there's green candles. So it's about kind of that market share, that audience acquisition at these points. So even negative energy is not really net negative overall, especially again if you try to be very resilient to stress and understand that, like, hey, it's always going to feel like this way when you get to buy bottoms. People aren't smiling and cheering and just encouraging you to buy the bottom, right? Like it takes a level of commitment and conditioning, some experience and things like that to either maintain your DCA or actually buy bottom. So I think most of us would say that we're still very positive. Again, not the Twitter banter. I'm talking about people actually building. Again, we're just getting ready to see what I would say is the first DeFi summer on PulseChain. So as soon as we get our audits finished up with Halborn, we're going to be putting out a launch date here very soon. Our launch date will coincide with Fetch, and Fetch will coincide with a lot of other projects who are waiting on the Oracle, who need that for, again, some of their different DeFi services and price feeds. So we're going to see a lot come out basically right around the time as us. So I think that if you're, again, still looking at that, like, are we launching phase? A lot of us are still just now finishing up our, kind of our DCA for launch approach. And again, we're about to that DeFi summer wave really hit. And that's going to be the real beginning, guys. So I'm very excited about the next, 30, 60 days, see this first wave of projects really hit. It's going to be something special. So we're seeing more listings, more encouragement. I think we popped up in the top 5 again on volume, like top 5 in volume, and we haven't even hit. Like our projects are just now coming on board. So again, stop staring at the chart. This is the time to accumulate. This is a good start. I'm very happy. Again, remember, guys, we haven't even had a Q1 report yet. We're not even out 90 days. DeFi summer's coming. Projects are coming. LL's about to set their launch date. Time to pack your bags.